Welcome back, friends. It has been a minute since I've done a video and I have every intention, but it's impossible when everybody's home. And then I have my cat in the background right now playing with a toy he hasn't played with in like 6 months. So that's just how it goes, right? He just, like, they all know. But anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys about covering melasma today. It's that time of year when the warmth from summer aggravates it. It gets darker. This is a method that's also really good for vitiligo. Can you hear him in the background? Seriously, he has not played with that since he was a kitten. Anyway, vitiligo, melasma, hyperpigmentation, this is a method that's going to work really well for that. And if you guys have watched any of my tutorials, you know that I use Mascara Beauty products, and this is actually the only foundation, it's cream-based, that I have found that actually masks it without feeling cakey or looking muddy. And the method I'm going to use is a little bit untraditional. So with most makeup lines and trying to color correct, you're going to go in and try to brighten everything, right? So what we're going to do is backwards. We're going to blur out the melasma with a color that's closest to the color of that, and then I'm going to go in with my normal application. So I'm going to use the Buffy brush today because this is one, when I color match new clients, that I recommend, because this one will do your whole face, your highlight, your contour, your brightening highlight, your blush. So this is really universal. And then another one that's really good when you're ready to add more is the blush and bronzer brush. So this one is that's a good supplement to this one here if you want to free this one up a little bit more. So since this is one that most people have, I'm going to use this one to start my color correction today. And what I'm going to do is use a contour color. So this contour color is called Stone from Mascara. If you want to shop any of the products that I'm using today from Mascara, there's a link above in the drop down if you click on that. And then if you need to be virtually color matched for your custom palette, then I am happy to help you with that if you're not already working with an artist. So taking this color here, the reason I'm using a contour color instead of one of our highlight colors, and if you're not familiar with Mascara Beauty, highlight and contour creates your foundation. So the contour colors have more pigment, they're a little more dense, and they have more staying power. So if we go in with this first, it creates a better base than the highlights, which tend to be creamier. So I'm going to take the smaller end of this brush here and dip it into my contour. A little bit goes a long way. And what I'm going to do is just stipple this around my melasma, creating a base to blur it out. And then I'll go in and brighten after this. So this is just evening the skin tone in the most prominent areas because we're trying to create an even base for everything else I'm going to do in just a second. And then I'm not going to worry too much about my jawline because when I contour there, it's going to cover it. Coming into this side, I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm using a stippling motion, so that means I'm kind of pushing the brush into my face rather than swiping it. So I want to do it until I don't see that patchiness anymore. So there is a little bit you can see right up here, and I'll show you what I mean by blurring it out. So I'm not going to go, because that one's more patchy, I'm not going to go right over top of the melasma there. I'm going to go around it. So do you see what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create that base where it's kind of blurring all of this, because when I go in with my main highlight and my contour, this is creating that even base for me. So that was with Stone Contour, which if you have melasma is usually, I would say 99% of the time, that's the color that is closest to the color of melasma. Very rarely will you need to go darker or lighter, but again, that's something that I can help with. Flipping the brush over to this larger side, I'm going to go in with my main colors now. So this is what you'll need to be color matched for. So with Mascara Beauty, your highlight and your contour blends together to create your perfect foundation. So the highlight's going to look a little bit scary when it goes on. It's probably going to look a little bit yellow. But again, I'm going to stipple this too, because this is going to go over that color correcting that I just did. And if I wipe it, then I'm going to wipe it off, and I don't want to do that. So this is going to go all over my face. Okay, so I've got that applied all over, and you can see how since I stippled, it didn't remove that color correction that I did. Now I'm going to flip the brush back over again and go in with the smaller side into my main contour color. Again, I know it's going to look scary, but just you wait till it blends out. And go in with Indigo, which is this contour color here. Seems really dark in the tin. You don't have to get a whole lot. A little bit of product goes a long way with this line, and I'm just going to pop that right here underneath my cheekbone. So if you're not familiar with contouring, you want to find that hollow right underneath your cheekbone and push up into that, because the point of contouring is to lift our face. And then I'm going to put that right up here in my hairline. With your contour, you do want to go a little heavy, so you don't want it to be blended out right now. You want it to be mapped out right now, because we're going to blend it and it's going to get a lot lighter. And then for the sides of your nose, you can pinch this. And then just going to drag that right down the side of my nose, right on the bridge there. So not completely on the bridge and not completely on the side, just right in that sweet spot in the middle of both of those, and then connect it at the bottom. Now I'm going to grab my sponge. This is called the Perfector sponge with Mascara Beauty. Softer, better than any beauty blender you'll use. So I have it damp right now, not wet, just damp. So if I run it through my hands here, it's just leaving moisture rather than water dripping from my hands. So I don't want it too wet, I don't want it too dry. And then I'm just going to basically push the makeup into my face here. So this is the part that helps the creams become like a second skin. Now that I've got that blended, I'm going to go in with a brightening highlight. So flipping my brush back over to that side where I used my main highlight, I'm going to go in with a shade that's a few shades lighter, which is this one right here. Get a little bit on there, and I'm going to pop this right here underneath my eye in a triangle shape. And then the center of my chin, the center of my forehead, and then using my ring finger, just getting a little bit on there, and I'm gonna put that down the bridge of my nose here. So what this is doing is creating an artificial light and brightness in the center of my face. Now, since I am oily, I'm gonna go in with a setting powder. My favorite is Smooth Operator by Tarte. This is a translucent loose setting powder. So I've got a little bit in the lid here, and this is where I'm going to go in with my, make sure I've got the right brush here. I'm going to go in with my blush and bronzer brush. That's that one that I showed you that's a good supplemental to the other one that I was using. And with this fluffy end here, just going to get that on my brush, and then concentrate this in my most oily spots, which is my T-zone. Now I'm going to go in with my Illuminator. So in most other makeup lines, this is what's called a highlight. But in our line, since we have a highlight already that you use in your foundation, this is called an Illuminator, which I think is a more appropriate name for it anyway. So with this, I'm going to go in with Honey, which is this more gold color here. This is a cream one. We do have powder ones as well. I do recommend starting out with a cream if you're not used to applying this, because the creams are way more forgiving than the powders are. And that's why you can highlight and contour. Literally anybody can with this makeup line. It's never been easier. So with that, you're just popping this on the top of your cheekbone here. And then I like to put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And then grabbing my sponge, I'm gonna go in and just put a little bit on my nose here. There, so you can see when the light catches it, you just get that pretty glow. Next, I'm gonna go in with Summer Love today. This one is one of our lighter ones, but I love, love, love this color. It's so pretty. It's a really warm pink. I'm gonna go in with this one on my ring finger. Smile to pop the apples of my cheeks. And you can either blend it out with that perfector sponge, or if you have the bronzer and blush brush, which is the one that I used for my setting powder, I'll put a little bit more on the side of that and then I'll blend it that way. And the nice thing with the creams too is you can flip it over with that side that you used on your highlight to just blend that out a little. It's the perfect warm pink that's good on so many skin tones. Using that same blush and bronzer brush, I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. So that is this one right here. It's called Bella Bronzer. That's a cream. And then this is an illuminator called Glow. So I like to put those next to each other and get my brush into both of them. And then with the bronzer, you're gonna put that basically everywhere you contoured, but this is a lot lighter and it's more sheer and it's just warm to warm up your skin and get that sun-kissed glow. And now I'm gonna go in with my favorite lip liner here. I'll do brows in just a second too, don't worry, I'm not gonna leave that. So with this, I'm just gonna push my lips out just a little so they're relaxed and line like that. And then I'm gonna blend this out a little. And then I'm gonna go in with the same color that I put on my cheeks, which was Summer Love, this one right here. That gives a nice natural nude lip. And then this brow pencil is also from Thrive Cosmetics. And then I'm gonna grab my Boy Brow from Glossier. This is in Blonde. It's like a little mascara wand, and this will help your brows stay in place. So I'm gonna start at the base here and just brush up and then shape these puppies, but it also has a little bit of tint so that it helps fill those in nice and soft. Okay, so that ended up being a little bit more of a full hack tutorial, but if you're here to learn about melasma coverage, then that's how you do it using mascara makeup. So if you need my help picking your colors and want to give this a try, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Also, if you go to the top and click the drop down, there's a link in there. You can get virtually color matched. That'll go straight to my email so that I can respond with your recommendations. It'll tell you what I need, what type of a selfie to take, how to take it, for the best color match. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment below or shoot me a DM, and I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.